Hi, I'm Irene Radford, and this reading is actually from a book that was written by P.R. Frost, which was my second pen name. And um, the marketing department decided they really liked this book, but Irene Radford couldn't write it. I, Irene Radford writes dragons. Okay. Anyway, this is urban fantasy. And much of it takes place in and around my home on Mount Hood in Oregon, just because I can. Okay. And the opening of many of the chapters includes some bat trivia. Bats do feature in the story, and my heroine is deathly afraid of bats. No thanks to her not so nice older sister and a prank that was pulled on her when she was like 3. So anyway, this is chapter 1. And it starts out, bats do not tangle in people's hair. If they can locate a mosquito to eat in the dark in a dark night, they can certainly avoid human heads. Okay. Quote, I miss you so much, Dilly, my teeth ache, I cried. I miss you so much I can't believe in anything but my memories of you. I traced the letters on the tombstone. Dilwyn Bailey Cooper, rest in peace, beloved son and friend, and the dates of his life cut short 2 years ago. He had been so much more than just a friend to me. I took back a sob. Dill's parents, 2 more D.B. Coopers, hadn't allowed me to put the precious word husband on the grave marker. We hadn't been married long enough for that, they said. When I had control of my voice again, I said aloud, Dill, I'm sorry I couldn't visit you sooner. I got sort of lost. You're probably the only person I know who would believe my tale. It's more unbelievable than this stuff I write. I got very sick. Then a sisterhood adopted me and nursed me back to health. Not a convent as we know it, more a sorority of warriors. We battle. Come to think of it, maybe you wouldn't believe my story. The fantasy fiction in my novels was more believable. Out of the corner of my eye, I spotted movement. An adolescent girl with the dark hair and copper skin of a Native American stooped to pick some flowers on the verge of the cemetery. Queen Anne's lace, chicory, and dandelion blooms filled her hands. One by one, she scattered them around the graves. I smiled at the image of innocence. My grief had no place in it, her young life. I should have outgrown it by now, but then I had gotten sidetracked and never found an opportunity to visit Dill's grave until now. I was still having trouble letting go of the man I loved so intensely. The girl looked up and smiled back. Then she ambled over and offered me one of the white filigree blooms. Here, you didn't bring any flowers. You look like you need one. Thank you, I choked out. After a moment, when I regained control over my voice, I added, do you have someone special here? I couldn't say the word dead or buried. That would make the wound of Dilwyn's absence from my life too raw again. Not here, back home on the Colville Reservation. She turned and looked wistfully to the north. I can't give them flowers, so I spread them here on graves that look lonely. A moment of comfortable silence passed between us. Thank you for the flower. I'm Tess. I held out my hand. She shook my hand with all the solemnity of an almost adult. Cynthia, Cynthia Stalking Moon. Hey, Cindy, a boy called from the nearby skate park. Come show us that twisty thing you do. Gotta go. Cynthia waved and ran off to join her friends. She scattered her flowers randomly as she ran. And that's the opening to Hounding the Moon by P.R. Frost. And it's coming out in January of 2024. from Bookview Cafe, followed by three sequels and a brand new book that is in the same world, but different characters. Tess does make a cameo